Okay, we got Caroline's breaststroke above water. Good start. Make sure you get a dolphin kick on that breakout. One thing that we talked about this week that I want you to focus on is the head position. You don't want to move too much with that head. You want to keep it in line with the body, and you want to keep it pushing forward. And there would be keeping it in line with the spine and the body. What we talked about with the ski jumper, that he leans into when he jumps, and that's how you kind of want breaststroke to go. If not, it's going to be more of an up-down stroke, and we wanted a free-flowing kind of wave stroke. Also want to be careful with the timing. Make sure that I'm finishing the stroke and then getting the kick finished. And also just don't drop the elbows in too close to the body. Because as you go along, if you're dropping those elbows in, you get to a 200-yard breaststroke and you're needing more oxygen, you're probably going to slow down your tempo because you're going to stop a little bit longer there. So keep everything out in front, drive the hands forward, and just lean into every stroke. Overall, great job. Keep up the good work. Okay, we're going to look at Caroline's breaststroke underwater. Good pull out. Now, the one thing that I want you to focus on is you want to keep your head more down. And as you keep your head down, you want to stay down and not, as you come up, bring the head straight up. Because what's happening is I'm having to, when you do that, it's kind of creating some resistance, and it's slowing down the momentum off the start, which is where we can get the most momentum. You want to think of it when you start that if this was the top of the water line and this is the bottom of the water line, you want to cut it right in half. So as I dive in, you hit that middle and then you plane back up. It's not a down and then straight up. One thing that I think you worked really well on this week is adjusting the head position. You had a head position where you're not looking on the deck, which is good, but I'd like to see you tilt that head just a little bit more, and I want you to look out the top of the eye and look down more at an angle. You don't want to look straight ahead. The other thing that I noticed is that you tend to bring the elbows in, and when you bring the elbows in, you bring those hands really close in next to the body, and the hands come together. When the hands come together like that, everything kind of stops, and you can kind of see here my body's more of an up and down position in the water. Typically when that happens, I'm going to go up and I'm going to go straight back down before I go forward. So you want to make sure that we're leaning into the stroke like we talked about, and I think you have started to make that change. The one thing is I'd like to see the kick just a little bit more powerful and even. And you can kind of see how those feet end, and one end's a little bit higher than the other. Again, good head position, but see how we kind of had to plane. Here's the plane right here. I should keep going forward, but I go straight up. And now you can see I'm almost standing in the water. So that's what we don't want to happen, because now when that happens, we're having to do a lot of building our own momentum. You want to bring the hands in and shoot them back out towards the surface. You can see how everything's really low underneath the water, and that's because of the elbows. These are fixes I think you've already started to make, and I think you've done a great job this week of focusing in on how the head affects the body position. And I just encourage you to continue that as you go home. Great job.